Do you see more connection because of your Iraqi descent to what's going on inside Iran?
I do believe so, yes, because I know exactly what kind of oppression the women of Iran are going through. I know how it is to be, as a woman, a subject for everyone's opinion, and also for the prolonging arms of the mullahs who think that they can decide upon my body, what to wear, how to wear it, and what to think, what to do, what not to do. I know exactly that feeling of being abandoned and being controlled at the same time. Abandoned by the justice because there is no rule of law, there is no democracy, and there is no freedom, and also controlled by everyone in society just because I happen to be born as a woman.
How hopeful are you for the Iranian women who appear not following any specific leadership in this critical juncture?
You know, unlike the other maybe activists in Europe and the Western world, I do know that the women of Iran have been fighting for their freedom, their liberties, their democratic rights for over 100 years. It's not a new fight that the women of Iran are having. It's not a new thing. And I do believe that the women of Iran will succeed. Maybe not this week, but I know that eventually history will turn into their favor and their human rights will be fulfilled by themselves.
As we speak, there was a report that Joseph Borrell had a conversation with Iran's foreign minister, and he apparently said to Iranian foreign minister that we don't want to add issues to our relationship with Iran. What is the mood in EU for doing something more effective and tangible?
Well, Joseph Borrell apparently has not listened to the peoples and citizens of the EU. We are united with the women of Iran. We stand in their support for the people of Iran and their freedom, their democratic rights, and their human rights. Joseph Borrell needs to check a little better what we think, what we say, and how we are acting, rather than promising things to the mullahs of Iran. I think that it is inevitable that we will reshape the relations to Iran, and not even saying women of Iran, but just only saying protesters in Iran. That's just an act of cowardice.
Ms. Alsahlani, as probably you know, IRGC, the Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, is attacking Kurdish groups in Iraq. Schools were hit by missiles, children were killed. What is your response? You are originally from Basra, and probably you have some connection. You also are vice chair of delegation for relations with Iraq.
Yes, and my husband is actually Kurdish from the Iraqi Kurdish region. So my children are half Kurdish. And of course, I am very touched by these scenes, and I do know how it is to be under attack. And this is very typically the regime of Iran. They are outsourcing the problems they are having into other countries, into other regions. That is how the mullahs are working, and they have been operating since 2003, trying to take control of Iraq, trying to take control of the resources of Iraq, trying to demolish the democratic process that the Iraqi people has chosen on multiple occasions by going to the votes and creating their own political life.
You know that the Iranian government have arrested apparently 9 European citizens in the past couple of days. There are already many dual citizens like Swedish Iranian Ahmad Reza Jalali, who is in jail and was under the threat of execution. What should be done, in your opinion, to stop this practice of hostage taking by the Iranian government?
Well, I mean, we have a real problem when it comes to dual citizenship, yeah? So, according to the international law, there is not so much more that you can do than actually having a very united EU together demanding the immediate unconditional release of its citizens, be it if they have origins in Iran. And that means that the EU has to take a stand, as we have done when it comes to Ukraine and the support that we have given to Ukraine. Apparently, we can do that. But when it comes to the women of Iran, when it comes to different groups in Iran, then it is very difficult to unite. And for me, as the European lawmaker, that is just unacceptable.
Ms. Alsahlani, is, as you know, after your speech, your picture of cutting your hair went viral. Everyone is sharing it and talk about that. I wanted to ask you personally, what was going on into your mind when you were cutting your hair with the scissor you had in your hand?
I can reassure you, Samak, that it was not that I wanted to go viral. I wanted to show the women in Iran, my sisters in Iran, that their voice, their scream for women, life, freedom is echoed in the European Parliament, the beacon of democracy in the EU. That was my hope to do, to raise their voice inside the EU institution, and that they can see that they have support in us and that we are many who stand beside them until they are free.